Welcome back, everyone. I wanted to give a quick thank you. We have hit 72 subscribers. That is a lot more than I expected this early on. I'm so happy to hear you guys are interested in our family and brand. If you haven't already, please do subscribe and hit the bell notification. I will be doing an announcement. I mentioned this later in the video, but I'll be doing an announcement on the Sports Watch. Maybe reveal next week, but definitely an announcement. So please do subscribe so you can be notified of that. And thank you again. It really does mean a lot to us. Okay, so another question we get asked a lot is how we got started in America. And by we, I mean my dad, because I was extremely young when we moved here. As many of you know, he did watches for the armed forces here in the States, as well as first responders, so firefighters. So what made you get started into working with the armed forces?
That's a good question. Well, I had a friend who told me I should get into it when I was still working for this watch group in Bangkok. And so when I went to the States, I did my research and I thought, well, looks like all of those watches that are available for insignia purposes are all of low quality, and I decided I would propose a product line that is on a high level quality, and we made a presentation to the Marine Corps and they loved it. We got lucky as well because we had the person that was responsible at the Marine Corps in San Diego, where most of the Marines go through on the West Coast, well, all of them go through there, and then on the East Coast in Paris Island. He was rather fond of our products, and he and the quality of our product made it quite the success as we started, and then we ventured into firefighters as well, and we started with the Army and then Air Force, and everything went along just fine for about 12-15 years until somebody in the U.S. government decided that they needed to license everything, and it was so difficult to get things licensed that they wouldn't allow us to be licensed because we manufactured in Switzerland, and they wanted to have access to the Swiss manufacturing sites, and well, nobody would give you access to it, so we weren't able to continue on with that. And but it was quite fascinating to see that the main quality requirement, or the level of quality requested, was basically a good Walmart watch, and I have no hard feelings against that prerogative, but it's
G-Shocks are great.
G-Shocks, I don't consider them in that level. They are probably some of the best high-grade watches that are for the armed forces, but we dealt with analog that sold for $20, and we came in with $200 watches, and people decided that they wanted to purchase our watch on a Marine Corps salary. That was quite uplifting to us to see how the response was to that change of mindset. So that allowed us afterwards to get into OEM. We got into other companies that wanted our services as well, and so quite fortunate that we were able to help and support and be part of the Marine Corps lifestyle, as well as firefighters. My wife's family, I think almost all of them are firefighters, and they said, well, if you do one for the Marine Corps, do one for us as well, and that's how that got started.
Yeah, a fun fact about my mom's family, my grandpa, her dad, was the firefighter for all of Clark County, for
Fire chief.
Fire chief.
Yeah.
For all of Clark County, which is a pretty big area here in Nevada, for quite a while. So we're pretty connected with firefighters here.
Yeah, that was, and then we started to go to a lot of shows, East Coast as well as West Coast, and there we go. That was our start. We did that for about 15 years, and then when those other accounts came along, we we started to get to the point where on the cheap section of watches, we had to order containers to bring all the watches over here. So, but nothing was ever like the Marine Corps going over there and selling watches to them at first. I mean, it was excitement. We loved it, especially when we sold the first 10, 20 watches there. We thought success is gonna come, but it was it was great working with them, and the boys, they were part of that growing up. They helped package the watches at times, and making sure that everything was labeled correctly. So
Most of those memories are good ones. Most.
it was fun. It was fun. Yeah.
How many? Excuse me. I know I asked you this before, but how many would you guess you guys sold to the Marine Corps?
I think Marine Corps, all of the armed forces together, we probably sold about 20,000 watches to him over that period, and we are still servicing these watches. We still get them back for repair, and it's kind of funny. They just had a call yesterday, and he said, I bought my watch 22 years ago, and still my favorite watch. So it's built on the same quality specs that we build our watches now, and they're still running good, and we're happily servicing them.
Yeah, so that's a little overview of how we got started. Like he said, it's a lot of emails we still get are from people who maybe bought the watch 10, 15 years ago. So that's a pretty special thing to see. But we'll have a big announcement hopefully next week, maybe the week after, for the sports watch. Give you guys an update on how that's going. Hopefully the wind didn't pick up too much in this video, and thank you guys for watching.
Thanks a bunch.
Are you ready?
No, I'm not ready.